on, this is nothing!
And we are back with some more Sonic content, specifically Sonic Heroes this time. In this video, I'm going to be ranking all 14 main stages and heroes in terms of how difficult it is to get the A rank. Big disclaimer, this video will be very heavily opinionated. I have 100% completed all of heroes with an A rank and have beaten super hard mode, so these stage rankings are based on my experience. There might be some glaze on particular stages as I may love the music or aesthetics, but ultimately I will keep it focused on the A rank difficulty. Feel free to disagree and call me an idiot in the comment section below if you disagree, but with that out of the way, let's get started with the tier list. Seaside Hill is the first stage in the game, and with that it is also the de facto tutorial stage. This is a very straightforward level, literally and figuratively, as oftentimes you are just running in a straight line. There are a few diverging paths, but there are little to no pitfalls or difficult enemies, as most can be one-shot by a level 2 Sonic or Tails. It is also in this stage where we are introduced to the bobsled, and unlike the other stages, there are no hazards in this one to cause you to fail or restart. As long as you are collecting most rings and hitting most enemies along your path, this should be a free A rank, which places Seaside Hill in the free category. Ocean Palace is next up, and it's a slight increase in difficulty spike from Seaside Hill, but not by much. The gimmick in this stage are the falling ruins and the giant doors that are needed to be opened by Knuckles. The stage offers little difficulty in the way of robots, however we are introduced to this game's first of many pitfalls. There is a chance to fall off the turtle's back when traversing from platform to platform, but that is usually due to bugs or bad enemy collision. There is this giant rock chase sequence in the end that could cause potential issues, but as long as you are playing as a speed character you should be fine. Another easy A rank, as there aren't many opportunities to be hit or fall off the stage, causing a restart. This places Ocean Palace in the easy category. Grand Metropolis is up next and is our third stage in the game. Its gimmick is these high-speed roads that auto-accelerate the characters. This stage introduces the green turtles that oftentimes guard gates. It is also here where we are introduced to the pole mechanic, which can be climbed up using a tornado with the speed character. However, when you reach level 2 and 3, you can rocket excel or dash near the pole to create a gust of wind to ascend it. The green turtles are easy to take down, but some enemies are now shielded up as well, which don't insta-die to the speed character as you need to remove their shields. This stage is over top a bottomless pit at times, but as long as you light speed dash over most, you should be fine. Grand Metropolis has a lot of satisfying high speed moments as well. For example, check out this chain of light speed dashes we do here, and take a look at the speed we get here towards the end of the stage, making it just in time to light speed dash over as the bridge falls down. Plenty of rings and enemies to homing attack chain with Sonic, making for another easy A rank, placing this stage in the easy category. Next up is Power Plant, and this stage is long and boring. Most of the stage is vertical in height, and most sections are closed off by hordes of enemies which you must defeat to unlock the next area. There is a lot of stop and go traffic in this stage which drags the runtime. You are either clearing out enemies to progress to the next room slowly, or you are waiting on elevators to rise slowly, biding your time. Even in the rooms with hordes of enemies, after you kill them, there is a delay between the gates opening up and the pillars rising. There were also moments where robots would snipe me before I could see them. An example of this is in the elevator lift where it rises slowly. The robots would snipe me as they weren't fully in the camera yet, causing me to lose my rings and potentially lowering my chances to get an A rank. Besides being relatively tedious and boring, this stage isn't too difficult. There is this final lava room chase sequence which I found really hard to beat as a kid. This is a definite step up from the previous two stages because of the length of the stage and cheap enemies sniping you, causing you to lose your rings. If you were to restart this stage, it is easily another 8+ minutes spent if you are going for the A rank, which places Power Plant in the medium tier. Not hard, just annoying. And again guys, these rankings are not a difficulty rating for the stage, but rather how hard and annoying it is to get the A rank. There will be some overlap if a stage is longer, that will be harder, but this isn't always the case. Next up is, this stage. There's a lot I could say about Casino Park, but if I had to summarize it in one word, I would say bullshit. The stage isn't conceptually or mechanically difficult. There is no tricky platforming or enemies to fight. It's the RNG pinball gimmick which makes this a nightmare. The difficulty is an artificial one set in place by the jank pinball controls. 9 out of 10 times your characters will not go in the direction you were thinking. Check this clip out here where Sonic glitches out in the pinball table. This stage is very frustrating in that your rings are tied to the gambling slot machines. You can also easily waste anywhere from 1 to 3 minutes in the pinball sections, which you can kiss the A rank goodbye. This stage literally made me rage and throw my controller across the room because for Team Sonic's secondary missions, you have a 5-minute time limit. And like I mentioned earlier, you can waste anywhere from 1 to 5 minutes just on the pinball section alone. Garbage stage, unfun, and rage inducing. This is going in rage tier and has 0 replay value for me. Bingo Highway is literally Guantanamo Bay Simulator. Matter of fact, I refuse to replay this god-awful stage and get footage, so here is some Sonic Unleashed gameplay. It's the same BS like in Casino Park but dialed up to 11. It's got all the telltale signs of a crap stage, it's got the RNG pinball gimmicks, lots of pitfalls to cause you to die, and it's a long stage. So when you do die, which is inevitable, you will have to restart this long ass stage and fight the pinball controls again. Another rage tier stage. I will say however in defense of these two stages is that they are gorgeous and vibrant, but there is no time to take in the scenery when you are getting fisted by the controls. Zero replay value and garbage stage unless you like gambling. Rail Canyon is up next and it is one of my top 3 stages in Heroes. This stage as far as the A rank goes is fairly easy. Others have complained over the years that the rail switching is broken in Heroes, but I've never had major issues other than the occasional glitch here and there. For example, here I registered left on the analog stick and pressed jump to rail switch, but it sent me all the way to the right instead of left. Rail switching can bug out at times and cause you to die, but I find oftentimes there's minimal need to switch in this stage. This stage is fast, fun, and highly replayable in my opinion. The only other thing I would point out is sometimes you can collide with the armored trains as you won't see them coming like in this clip, but it isn't mostly an issue. Rail Canyon is a relatively easy A rank to achieve and is placed in the easy category. Fun stage and highly replayable. It gets a lot of hate which I think is undeserved in my opinion. Next up is Bullet Station, and this stage ramps up the difficulty up a bit. Rail grinding is still here, but the emphasis this stage is more so on combat, whereas in Rail Canyon it was full throttle race to the goal. There is a lot of tricky platforming this stage due to it having a lot of bottomless pits. There will be moments where you are crossing sketchy platforms, light speed dashing, and triangle jumping right over bottomless pits that could screw up your run. For example, take a look at this clip where we exit the mine only to be instantly met with a giant spike block that sends us to our death. If you die once too, you might as well restart the stage since it's long and you won't make the cutoff for the A rank. Definitely a nerve-wracking A rank as one small wrong move can send you back to the start. This places Bullet Station in hard tier. Frog Forest is up next and it's pretty straightforward. Get to the goal as fast as possible while collecting as many rings and killing as many enemies along the way. The map does include vines that can be grinded on, which are over bottomless pits, but once you are on the vine there usually is no need to switch. Some more platforming that is over bottomless pits, but nothing too bad. There is this one sketchy jump you can do off the flower to this vine rail, but this is not necessary as you can let the flower take you to the peak and safely fall down. One last grind rail and we make it to the goal ring fairly easily with an A rank. By the way, some people have rumored over the years that you can outgrind this final vine. I'm pretty sure this is just a myth and not actually possible. Let me know if you guys have tried or heard of this rumor. Nevertheless, this places Frog Forest in the easy rank of this tier list. And now moving on, we've got Lost Jungle. Where Frog Forest took place high in the skies, this stage is more down to earth and sees you traversing a thick swamp below. It is also in this stage where we are introduced to a very tough robot, Egg Hammer. These guys can be dealt with Knuckles with a few quick punches or by using Team Blast. The gimmick of this stage are the black frogs. While the normal frogs bring rain that promotes growth, the black frogs bring harsh rain that kills the vegetation. In layman's terms, this means a lot of the platforms disappear if the black frogs catch sight of us. This stage, like all other second acts of each zone, has more of an emphasis on combat rather than speed. A common trend you will see now is that Act 1 is speed focused while Act 2 is combat focused. Heroes was the first game to introduce health bars to the series, as most robots beforehand were one shot in previous titles. Fun fact, if you jump up here to this top platform, there is a hidden green frog and a mushroom spring. Taking this spring leads you to a vine which has you skipping an encounter with 2 egg hammers. This stage isn't too hard, just long.
That's what she said!
One terrifying chase sequence that gave us all nightmares as kids later, and the A rank is secured. A few tricky platforms and beefed up robots, but not a cakewalk either. This places Lost Jungle in the medium tier on the tier list. Hang Castle is up next, and as the name implies, this takes place in a haunted castle. The gimmick of this stage are these globes that when touched inverse the gravity. This causes Sonic and gang to platform on the roof of the stage. This stage also introduces a new enemy known as the Egg Magician. These guys are like the wizards back in the Werehog stages as they can heal the robots, so it's best to deal with them first. Some notable things in this stage are these doors which can be clipped through if you rocket excel through it, the invisible floor which is lit up with flames, and this giant statue of Eggman that when inverted reveals Neo Metal Sonic, which gives us a hint as to who's the real villain in the story. I just have to gush about this stage real quick. The music and theme of this stage are a vibe. Haunted and spooky stages are some of my favorites. It's partly why I enjoyed Pumpkin Hill a lot in SA2. The atmosphere of this stage gives me good vibes. Let me know if any of you also feel the same about particular stages or maybe spooky stages in general. Enough glaze, let's get back to the stage. Check out this lightspeed section here and the amount of distance we cover. There's also this final section where we scale down the side of this massive tower as we head towards the goal ring. This stage in terms of the A rank isn't a cakewalk as there are bottomless pits, but it isn't difficult either, landing it in the medium tier in our tier list. Next up we got Mystic Mansion. This A rank is definitely one of the more difficult ones in the game. Many sections are overtop bottomless pits and guardrails have been removed, meaning one wrong move and you have to restart the stage. This stage is very long as well, meaning that for the entire duration of the stage, which could take anywhere from 8 to 12 minutes, perfection is needed if you want the A rank. This means collecting lots of rings, not taking taking any hits and leveling up your characters to level 3, as well as reaching the goal fast for the time bonus. If you do end up dying, it's oftentimes not worth continuing the run and you're better off restarting. You can imagine this gets very frustrating when you are 6 to 7 minutes into the stage and die due to a missed time jump or glitch. The presentation of this stage as well as the spectacle are amazing. This giant skeleton holding platforms, this hallway where the lighting outside creates a flash of light that emanates through the windows, and the trippy altar rooms with these cool blue, red, and yellow colorways that remind me of lava lamps. There is even these skeletons peeking around the walls as you grind on these rails. Very cool touches and definitely a banger stage, soundtrack wise and aesthetically. In terms of the A rank, this lands Mystic Mansion in the hard tier in our tier list. A lot of places to trip you up, as well as the long stage length add up to a difficult A rank to achieve. Our next stage is Egg Fleet, and this stage is peak fiction in Sonic. You are at the edge of space, grinding from rail to rail as we make it from one battleship to the next. All the while you can see the earth below, which really makes you feel like a baller. The entire stage is way up high over a bottomless pit. One wrong move and you have to restart the stage, and it is decent in length, as is most endgame stages in Heroes. There were many times where I wanted to lightspeed dash with Sonic and instead a rocket excel would go off and I would feel my heart sink down to bikini bottom. But luckily I managed to clutch up. Just like in Act 1 stages, collect as many rings, beat as many robots on the way, and get to the goal as fast as possible. I even lost all my rings at one point but still managed to get an A rank, most likely due to reaching the goal fast and having a high score count with level up. Definitely not medium difficulty, as you have to be a lot more mindful of your positioning as you can fall off, which places Egg Fleet in the hard category. If you don't know the stage layout well, there are lots of places and pitfalls to cost you a life, along with the long stage length, which can be tilting when going for the A rank. And finally, our final stage in Heroes, fittingly named Final Fortress. This stage is brutal. Lots of pitfalls, difficult platforming with falling platforms, lasers, and tons of egg hammers, as well as these mech robots with golden armor. This stage needs patience and perseverance. Just like Egg Fleet, the stage is over top a giant bottomless pit, and dying once means a restart is needed if you are going for the A rank. Every gimmick is thrown at you in this stage. Triangle jumping, fan gliding, poles, grind rails, and lots of combat. You are also spammed with these egg hammers, which are annoying to deal with, so a team blast is the most efficient way to deal with them. One glitch you can do with the flight character is pressing the Y and X buttons simultaneously, which causes the speed character to tweak out and fill up the team blast meter quickly. This trick is almost mandatory to deal with these little shits, otherwise the combat encounters take forever. This laser segment towards the end is nerve-wracking too, as you need to rapidly switch rails or risk getting hit. This is fine if it weren't for the sketchy rail switching in Heroes. The trick here is to use the flight character. In the event the rail switching bugs out, you can reposition yourself and adjust. Definitely the hardest stage in the entire game to A rank, and fittingly so, which ranks Final Fortress in Rage tier. And this concludes the tier list for the Heroes A rank. If you guys have any differing opinions or views, let me know in the comment section below. That is all I have for you guys today. Check out my shorts channel if you're doom scrolling and bored, and until next time, I'll catch you all on the flip side. Peace.